69 chapters. Nice. Dab. Alright, well, might as well continue going through. I already recorded the 70th and 71st, so now we're on 72. The first narrative was built. With this, the main goal of the fourth scenario was achieved. What the hell's going to happen now? No, why did you break the throne? I wonder how those... I wonder if I should read it again. I think this chapter might be fine. Let's see what sounds back. The first narrative was... Oh, wait. Forgot to get... I gotta get my headphones. Don't want to have it be playing out. Okay. Your device is connected. Hello. Type something in chat. Go ahead. The first narrative was built. With this, the main goal of the fourth scenario was achieved. What the hell's going to happen now? No, why did you break the throne? There were many people who were built. There were people. I recently cleaned out the fan of my laptop, so I hope it doesn't make as much noise. I lower my mic sensitivity when I record, cause like I didn't want to pick up too much background noise, but it might not be necessary. Wait. There were many people who were built. Oh yeah, definitely. Wait. There were many people. Yeah, good. The first narrative was built. With this, the main goal of the fourth scenario was achieved. What the hell's going to happen now? No, why did you break the throne? Oh god, that was... maybe I was a bit too close to the mic. The first narrative was built. With this, the main goal of the fourth scenario was achieved. What the hell's going to happen now? No, why did you break the throne? There are people who why do I keep messing up on that part? Actually, we'll listen it back. The first narrative was built. With this, the main goal of the fourth scenario was achieved. What the hell's going to happen now? No, why did you break the throne? Oh god, I keep saying it too loud. Nice, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Noelle gets it. The first narrative was built. With this, the main goal of the fourth scenario was achieved. What the hell's going to happen now? No, why did you break the throne? There were people who were bewildered by the situation, while others were scared about what the angry Dokkaebi would do. From the perspective of the people present, I was a sinner who made the fifth scenario difficult. Some people cried out to the Dokkaebi. Make the absolute throne again! I'll join the scenario again! This time I will be the master of the throne! Was that too loud? Was that too loud? Maybe I should back up the mic for a bit. Usually this isn't when I lowered the mic sensitivity, usually spiking the mic wasn't an issue. Make the absolute throne. Cried out to the Dokkaebi. Make the absolute throne again. I'll join the scenario again. This time I will be... I'll recruit. Sometimes I don't know how I want just random people to sound like. Cried out to the Dokkaebi. Make his absolute... Maybe... looking at chat, I kind of hope people just come in and then type nice, then leave or something. Make the absolute throne again. I'll join the scenario again. This time I will be the master of the throne. The scenario that. Make the absolute throne again. I'll join the scenario again. This time I will be the master of the throne. The scenario that. I don't know if it's just me, but like I hate how much like background noise I feel is in there. Is that what it just sounds like normally? Is there like background noise in this stream? Shit. The scenarios that have already ended can't be changed by anyone. Oh, is that the Dugby talking? Yeah, the scenario. The snares that have already ended can't be changed by anyone. Anything happens to you. Yeah. The snares that have already ended can't be changed by anyone. Anything that happens to you from now on is the fault of that human. The enemy Dokubi's answer was cold. Dokubi pointed towards me. What? I'll do it again. The scenarios that have already ended can't be changed by anyone. Anything that happens to you from now on is the fault of that human. The enemy Dokubi's answer was cold. The Dokubi pointed towards me while the wet shoulders of the gathered people shook. A world with no kings? Okay, let's try it once. I'll see how well you can survive without a focal point. The enemy... The enemy Dokubi flicked his finger. Then the people of Gwanghamun started to disappear like smoke. People screamed and ran away. What is this all of a sudden? This was an unexpected development. I looked back and saw Jung Hee-won, Yusanga, Li Gilyong, and the others calling out to me. Dr. Shi! The next moment, Yusanga disappeared. Then Li Gilyong and Jung Hee-won. Next was Jung Min-sub and Lee Seung-kook. 1 minute after the Dokubi flicked his finger, I was the only one remaining in Gwanghamun. The enemy Dokubi looked at me with a creepy smile. Please keep this in mind. If the world is destroyed, it's because of you. The moment I wanted to speak, there was a ringing sound. My body shook and I was moved elsewhere. It was accompanied by... Alright, quite a bit. It was accompanied by... It was accompanied by severe nausea and a headache. I lost consciousness because I consumed a great deal of energy. 10,000 coins have been earned as a settlement for the fourth scenario. I slept for quite a long time because I was tired from the excessive contact with the solid. I slept for quite a long time because I was tired from the excessive contact with the constellations. I even dreamt. It was a dream from before the end began. Hey, aren't you awake? The moment I heard the voice, I realized it was my high school days. They were the days when I was beaten up by the school gangsters. Yeah, there was times like this. It was a childish dream, but I'm gonna read this section. Interesting. I'm gonna do a quick skim of the chapter to see what I might need to prepare for in reading it. Oh, be like Yu Jung-wook. Oh shit, his mom. Oh yeah, I don't know about his mom, but I'm sure his mom's a big part of this. All right. Okay. I'm gonna listen back to the long take I did, just to make sure. Right. It was a childish dream. Oh, Kim Duksha. Sad boy. I shook and I was moved elsewhere. It was accompanied by severe nausea and a headache. I lost consciousness because I consumed a great deal of energy. 10,000 coins have been earned as a settlement for the fourth scenario. I slept for quite a long time because I was tired from the excessive contact with the constellations. I even dreamt. It was a dream from before the end began. Hey, aren't you awake? Oh, yep, I'm gonna delete that because that's obviously I thought it was a girl, but like or maybe his mom, but no, it's like oh why you look at me like that? You want to kill somebody? So it's obviously the gangster. Hey, aren't you awake? I'll start. Oh, my battery. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start from I slept a long time. It was a dream from. I'll start from I even dreamt. I even dreamt. It was a dream from before the end began. Hey, aren't you awake? The moment I heard the voice, I realized it was my high school days. They were the days when I was beaten up by the high school gangs. Run it back, run it back. Okay. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. I even dreamt. It was a dream from before the end began. Hey, aren't you awake? Is that too loud? Is that too loud? Hey, aren't you awake? That's not good. That's not good. The moment I heard the voice, I realized it was my high school days. They were the days when I was beaten up by the high school. Why do I keep on saying by the high school gangsters? By the school gangsters. The moment I heard the voice, I realized it was my high school days. They were the days when I was beaten up by the school gangsters. Yes. There were times like this. It was a childish dream, but I became furious when I thought about it again. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Do you want to kill someone? My head fell back from his slap. Blood flowed from my... Was that good enough? What? Why are you looking at me like that? I feel like... Just reading this kind of reminds me that, like, God, Korea has a issue with bullies. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I feel like in so many of, like, the novels or the manhwa I read, so many of them just have a part where there's like, oh, main character gets bullied, and then, slam dunks him. But like the Korean bullies in like these in the manhwa novels is so brass and like damn, I can never see this happening in America. There were times like this. I'll start from yes. Wait no. Yeah, I'll start from yes. There were times like. Yeah. I've been recording for 14 minutes, and I have 2 minutes of audio. I guess that makes sense. Okay. I don't know. I don't like saying the yes. The yes does feels weird. I feel it's a translation thing, but like I feel like saying yes. There were times like this. I think yeah works better. Like yeah, yeah. Fuck, I'll just say yes. Yes. There were times like this. It was a childish dream, but I became furious when I thought about it again. What? Why are you looking like that? Do you want to kill someone? My head fell back from the slap. Blood flowed from my... Let's start. Blood. Blood flowed from my cracked lips, and my tinging cheeks caused a sense of shame. Blood flowed from my cracked lips, and my tingling cheeks started. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, this is such a sad. This could have seemed like a sad scene. I remember someone commented that like I did pretty well on like when he was talking to Yu Jong-ok about when he was being mind controlled, and he's like, man, you got me through my high school days when I read the novel. I was like, damn, emotional. Blood flowed from my cracked lips, and my tingling cheeks caused a feeling of shame. Arms, legs, and shoulders. Pain came from all over these places. Arms, legs, and shoulders. Pain came from all these places. It might be a dream, but it was more painful than reality. Maybe it was because there was no fourth wall here. Why? If it's too much, stab me. Do you want to appear in the same newspapers as your mother? My clenched fist trembled, but I couldn't hit him. At that time, what did I... Oh, damn. Newspapers as your mother? Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, the mystery is unfolding. What did his mom do? My clenched... Wait, did I? I feel like I made him sound... the same newspapers as your mother? I feel like I switched out. Be a dream, but it was more... Oh, whatever, he's a bully character. He's not showing up again. Okay. Newspapers as your mother? Newspapers. Right. My clenched fist trembled, but I couldn't hit him. At that time, what had I been thinking? At that time, what had I been thinking? My clenched fist trembled, but I couldn't hit him. At that time, what I had been thinking. If only I was Yu Jong-ok. Yeah, that's right. This is what I thought in my misery. There was a time when I was... Like, yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah. I feel like I don't use the word yes that much. I usually say yeah. It's so weird because like this novel like exclusively uses the word yes. Yeah, that's right. This is what I thought in my misery. Yes, that's right. This is what I thought in my misery. There was a time when I was reading Ways of Survival. Okay, that's just a straight up typo. I say the name on the... Wait, no, does he say? No, wait. Yeah, no, I think that's supposed to be saw. I saw the name on the uniform's name badge. Yes. Yes, that's right. This is what I thought in my misery. There was a time when I was reading Ways of Survival. I saw the name on the uniform's name badge. Song Minwoo. What was he doing now? I remember they'd gone to university and was working well. That was the first time I thought the world was unfair. I didn't know if he was still alive. Exclusive skill. Fourth wall is activated. My dream collapsed and I was left in the dark again. Exclusive skill. Omniscient reader view... Exclusive skill. Yeah. Practice diction. Pronunciation. Sharper. The exclusive skill. No. Exclusive skill. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint Stage 3 has been activated. Voices start to overlap. Hey, can you hear me? Are you okay? Representative Nim. Tokushishi, where are you? They were the familiar voices of people I knew. The words were conveyed through the third-person perspective, of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint's third stage. I knew who the voices belonged to without looking. Why here? Dokshashi, can you hear me? There was a bar with various types of wine. Shonghyo was frowning and sighing. Wait, I'm gonna read this for to just know who's speaking and when. I hate this. Okay, so this one's Shonghyo. The first one's Shonghyo one. The first line's Shonghyo one. And it's Lee Jie, and then Lee Hyung Sung. Who the fuck is it? Who the fuck is it? Hey, can you hear me? Are you okay? Wait, no. Okay, wait. Oh, I was about to say, I think this is Yusanga because it says Dokshashi, but a lot of people call him Dokshashi. Okay, so I think the first person is just a random person that's just there. Because he's like, are you okay? Exclusive skill. Now just retweet the whole thing. Exclusive skill. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint Stage 3 has been activated. Voices start to overlap. Hey, can you hear me? Are you okay? Wait, no, they're speaking to him through his thing. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna read a bit of it. People's reaction. Maybe that since the first person who talked, since the second one says representative, I think these two are Jung Min Sum and Lee Sung Kook. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I guess this is why it's a book. Exclusive skill. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint Stage 3 has been activated. Voices start to overlap. Hey, can you hear me? Are you okay? Representative Nim? Dokshashi, where are you? They were the familiar voices of people I knew. The words were conveyed through the third-person perspective. The words were conveyed through the third-person perspective on Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, Stage 3. I'm just gonna take out that. The words were conveyed through the third person. Okay. The words were conveyed through the third person. I knew who the voices were. Wait, did I accidentally delete something? They were the familiar voices of people I knew. No, The words were conveyed through the third-person perspective. I knew who the voices were. The words were conveyed through the third person. I knew who the voices belonged to without looking. Why here? Dokshashi, can you hear me? There was a bar of various types of wine. Jonghyun was frowning and sighing. A love letter. I will meet that man. Wait. She's still talking about the Yu Jung-ok love letter. Jesus Christ. Wait, no, it's... Oh, why here? Oh, she's like, oh, why here? Because she's in a bar. That's kind of funny. The words were conveyed through the third person. The words were conveyed through the third person perspective. I knew who the voices belonged to without looking. Why here? Dokshashi, can you hear me? Oh my, Dokshashi. Oh my god, I can barely remember what voice I gave Jonghyun. Or like how to do it really. The words were conveyed through the third person's perspective. Oh my god, I'm just really stuck here. I'm really stuck here. The words were conveyed through the third person perspective. I knew who the voices belonged to without looking. Oh, Why here? Dr. Shi, can you hear me? There was a bar with various types of wine. Johin was frowning and sighing. A love letter. I will meet that Ajashi again. Damn, why did I fail to the school? Why did I... Fall to the school. Oh, okay. I thought I'm an idiot. She'd be hit by someone. Oh. Oh wait, no, like why here? Is it, oh, she just got teleported into a bar? The words were conveyed through the... Okay. Just one more try. Let's go. Let's get it good. The words... I said words. Second I start, my god. The words were conveyed through the third-person perspective. I knew who the voices belonged to without looking. Ah, why here? Tokshishi, can you hear me? It's too high. I feel it's too high for Jung-Hee-won. Or is it not high enough? The words were conveyed through the third-person perspective. I knew who the voices belonged to without looking. Ah, why here? Dokshishi, can you hear me? There was a bar of various types of wine. Jung-Hee was frowning and sighing. Oh no, wait. Oh wait. Jung-Hee-won went to... Okay. Jung-Hee-won is in a bar. Lee Ji-hye is in a school. And Lee Seong-sung's in a military base. I'm guessing they're all teleported to places that have significance. Damn. Oh god, was Jung-Hee-won like an alcoholic? I hope she's not. The words were conveyed through the third-person perspective. Oh. Lips. Almost 30 minutes in, and I've only recorded like 3.5 minutes. The words were Should I eat an apple? I feel like my mouth's really mouth noisy. The words were conveyed through the third-person perspective. I knew who the voices belonged to without looking. Oh, why here? Dokshishi, can you hear me? There was a bar of various types of wine. Jung-Hee was frowning and sighing. A love letter. I will meet that You know, I feel good up to that point. Continuing from there. A love letter. I don't get the context of that though. A love letter? Love letter. Talking about you, Jung-Hee? Kim Dok-shows, I mean? A love letter. I will meet that Ajashi again. Damn, why did I fall to the school? Lee Ji-hye was touching her... I was thinking, like, should I say it like she's crying? But, like, I don't know. She might have just gotten hit. She's a tough girl. A love letter. Okay. A love letter. I will meet that Ajashi again. Damn, why did I fall to the school? Lee Ji-hye was touching her cheeks as if somebody had been... Cheeks? Or her cheek? Lee Ji-hye was touching her cheeks as if she's been hit by someone. How come? Why here? Oh god, oh man, dude. Forever since Lee Hyung-sung was in the story, or maybe just since I recorded him speaking. How come? How come? Why here? Oh, what voice did I give him? How come? Why? How come? How come? Why? Here? How come? Why? Here? Lee Hyung-sung was trapped in a nearby military base. Do it again. How come? Why here? Lee Hyung-sung was trapped in a nearby military base. I could roughly guess what happened could roughly get. I feel good. I feel we can continue on from here now. Guess what happened. I feel it. I could roughly guess what happened based on people's reactions. The people in Gwanghwamun seemed to be moved to places they had an association with. That's why Lee Jae was out of school, while Lee Hyung-sung was sent to a nearby military base. Lee Hyung-sung was... Oh, would you like to do this again? Yeah, like... See, I was right. Association. And now she's gonna be like, Jung-hyun, why are you at a bar? Nearby military base. I could roughly guess what happened based on people's reactions. The people in Gwanghwamun seemed to be moved to places they had an association with. Yes, I think I said that too fast. I could roughly guess what happened based on people's reactions. The people in Gwanghwamun seemed to be moved to places they had an association. I feel like I'm talking too streamlined or fast. I could roughly guess what happened based on people's reactions. The people in Gwanghwamun seemed to be moved to places they had an association with. That's why Lee Jae was out of school, while Lee Hyung-sung was sent to a military base. Lee Hyung-sung was the most pathetic one. Maybe it was the damn intermediate Dokkaebi's doing. He created a situation where the incarnations were scattered all over the place. No matter how irrelevant it was to the main scenario, the intermediate Dokkaebi would surely be wrecked. Oh, my mouth's getting foamy. No matter how irrelevant. Start from there. No matter how irrelevant it was to the main scenario, the intermediate Dokkaebi would surely be wrapped. No matter how irrelevant it was to the main scenario, the intermediate Dokkaebi would surely be wrapped. Is that worded weird? No, it's not. No matter how irrelevant. Why is that so hard for me to say right now? God, my computer's fan's popping off right now. It's like, God. No matter how irrelevant it was to the main scenario, the intermediate Dokkaebi would surely be reprimanded. Oh my God, why is this sentence so hard? No matter how irrelevant it was to the main scenario, the intermediate Dokkaebi would surely be reprimanded. I looked at the confused people and muttered, "I'm fine." I thought you can't. Wait, no, I guess that makes sense. I'm fine. I'm fine, so take care of yourself. I'll see you soon. They couldn't hear me, but I hoped the words would reach them. Exclusive skill, Omniscient Reader Viewpoint Stage 3 has ended. I slowed. Oh God. I slowly returned to consciousness as my eyelids opened. Black clouds were still swirling around over Seoul like a black hole. I got up and looked around. There's a pran. Oh my God! You know, I'm just gonna. Maybe I should read it all through first. Maybe I wouldn't get so stuck up on all the lines like this. Omniscient Reader Viewpoint Stage 3 has ended. I slowly returned to consciousness as my eyelids opened. Black clouds were still swirling over Seoul like a black hole. I got up and looked around. It was a panoramic view of Seoul. It was a place where skyscrapers and high-rise buildings could be seen. That reminded me. I should be moved to a place related to me. At first glance, it looked like the rooftop of a high-rise building in Seoul. This place? Damn. I thought it was possible, but I didn't really want to Be back in a sec. I'm back, nobody. Yeah, I had a phone call. Where was I? God, I guess my cleaning the laptop fan didn't do much. It's going off on noise. Okay, where was I? Damn. I thought it was possible, but I didn't really want to. At first glance, it looked like the rooftop of a. At first glance, it looked like the roof. I got up and looked around. Oh, sorry, I got one. I got up and looked around. It was a panoramic view of Seoul. It was a place where skyscraper and high-rise buildings could be seen. That reminded me. I should be moved to a place related to me. At first glance, it looked like the rooftop of a high-rise building in Seoul. This place... Damn. I thought it was possible, but I really didn't want to come here. A few constellations are looking forward to the words you will say to yourself. Microsoft? This was the rooftop of the company I worked for, Microsoft. A few constellations are disappointed. The constellations who don't like to be rushed are pleased. When I saw the indirect messages that came to my mind, I felt that the constellation's focus on me had expanded after I broke the absolute throne. I got up and looked around. It was a panoramic view of Seoul. It was a place where skyscraper and high-rise buildings could be seen. That reminded me. I should be moved to a place related to me. At first glance, it looked like the rooftop of a high-rise building in Seoul. This place... Damn. I thought it was possible, but I really didn't want to come here. A few constellations are looking forward to the words you will say to yourself. Microsoft? This was the rooftop of the company I worked for. Microsoft. I'll retake this. I feel stupid, but I just covered up my laptop with some cloth to hopefully muffle the noise. I don't even know if it's even helping. I don't know, how can I use this now? I'm trying to... How am I gonna do this? Let's see. got up and looked around. It was a panoramic view of Seoul. It was a place where skyscrapers and high-rise buildings could be seen. That reminded me. I should move to a place related to me. At first glance, it looked like the rooftop of a high-rise building in Seoul. This place? Damn. I thought it was possible, but I really didn't want to come here. A few constellations are looking forward to the words you'll say to yourself. Minus soft. I know. I don't know why I said that so determinedly. I got up and looked around. It was a panoramic view of Seoul. It was a place where skyscrapers and high-rise buildings could be seen. That reminded me. I should move to a place related to me. At first glance, it looked like the rooftop of a high-rise building in Seoul. This place? I think it's... I just dogpiled now my laptop with shit. And I think it's helping. I mean, I can't look my... The stream's not open now. Well, I can't see my stream now, but I guess whatever. Yeah, like this part, I guess you can't see it, but like the part in Audacity, like it usually like any blank space would be crinkly, like. No, I feel better. Eyelids opened. Black clouds were still swirling over Seoul like a black hole. I got up and looked around. No, my mouth clicked. Does make editing it annoying though, because I have to do it all strictly with clicks rather than I can use key shortcuts. I got up and looked around. It was a panoramic view of Seoul. It was a place where skyscrapers and high-rise buildings could be seen. That reminded me. I should be moved to a place related to me. At first glance, it looked like the rooftop of a high-rise building. This place? Damn. I thought it was possible, but I really didn't want to come here. A few constellations are looking forward to the words you will say to yourself. Microsoft? This was the rooftop of the company that I work for, Microsoft. A few constellations are disappointed. The constellations who don't like to be rushed are pleased. When I saw the indirect messages that came to my mind, I felt like... I'll stop there. When I saw the indirect messages that came to my mind, I felt like... When I saw the indirect messages that came to my mind, I felt like the constellation's focus on me had expanded after I broke the absolute throne. The constellation, Prison of the Golden Headband, threatens the newly appeared constellations. The constellation, Secretive Plotter, is coughing at the pretentious people. Why did I come here? A street in Seoul without any cars? The offices with the... Oh, it's like... Why did I said that like I said if I knew. Like, why did I come here? And I was like, why did I come here? Why did I come here? A street in Seoul without any car. Why did I come here? A street in Seoul without any cars. The offices in the building with... Why did I come here? A street in Seoul without any cars. The offices with the lights turned off. I felt nostalgia as I saw these familiar buildings. It was the first time I went to work in a month. I felt really weird when I remembered coming up to the office. I felt really weird when I remembered coming up to the rooftop with Deputy Yoon after being scolded by Team Leader Han. When I previously... I felt really weird when I remembered coming up to the rooftop with Deputy Yun after being scolded by Team Leader Han. When I That was good. When previously I'd been testing new games, now I was cutting people with a blade. Was Deputy Yoon still alive? I turned my head and saw messages flashing in the air. They were 10 days before the start of the 5th scenario. The snares were flowing as I expected. If the Absolute Throne was destroyed, Seoul Dome would get a respite for 10 days. The 5th scenario, the Great Hall. During this grace period, I had to find a way to clear the 5th scenario without the Absolute Throne. A sub-scenario is in process to supplement the interlude. Sub-scenario. Survival activities. Category, sub. Difficulty, C+. Clear conditions. Survive for 10 days in the ruined city. You should eat 3 meals a day and get at least 6 hours of sleep a day. Don't forget to pay 500 coins per day before going to sleep every night. There will be a clear penalty if you wait. Every time when I stop recording, you hear like the last bit. I'm just checking where exactly it is just to make sure that I'm deleting the right part. There will be a clear penalty if you violate any of these 3 rules. Duration, 10 days. Compensation, none. Failure, death. This is a scenario where a coin event is applied. All monsters in the scenario have a certain probability of dropping coins. I roughly knew how things had gone. The existing scenario... The existing scenario was completely destroyed, so they hastily put together a sub-scenario. Furthermore, it overlapped with a coin payment event. I thought they were going to do it soon, but I expected it to start early. Already. Not early. I thought they were going to do it soon. I thought they were going to do it soon, but hadn't expected to start already. A survival fee of 500 coins a day. It was a scenario that couldn't be cleared without a coin event. Oh, wow. A survival fee of... A survival fee of 500 coins a day. It was a scenario that couldn't be cleared without a coin event. Anyway, now I had to move. I couldn't manage... Anyway, now I had to move. Anyway, now I had to move. I couldn't miss out on the chance to replenish my coins. Then people's voices were heard from below the roof. Drag it! Quickly! I looked down and saw armed people entering the building with others behind them. Minasoft was located near Songcho. Sochogu? Sochogu? Sochogu. Sochogu? Yeah, I'm gonna do Sochogu. Let's see how my random sounded. Drag it! Quickly! When I was saying, I was like, I think I sound stupid right now. I did. Drag it! Quickly! I looked down and saw armed people entering the building, with others behind them. Minasoft was located near Songochu. Sochogu. Minasoft was located near Sochogu, but in my memories, there was no king forces in the Sochogu area. Socho area. Sochogu and Socho... God, my lips are actually getting pretty crackly. Fuck it, get an apple. looked down and saw armed people entering the building. I started streaming like 4, right? It's not done with this chapter. I think the fastest I've recorded a chapter is like 30 minutes. But yeah, I think that's pretty hard actually. Like damn, that's like means like a third of the time of that time was recorded properly. It's like each chapter like 10 minutes. Let's see, okay. I looked down and saw armed people entering the building, with others behind them. Manasoft was located near Sochogu, but in my memories, there were no king forces in the Socho area. Then who were they? I carefully observed the armed people and realized something. Yes, they were they were the Wanderers. Yes, they were the Wanderers. Each of them had a different way of living in this destroyed world. Someone would become a king. Some would become. Wait, someone. Oh, never mind. It was right. It was right. Someone would become a king, and others become the people. Someone would become the want. Oh. I guess it's grammatically correct. Someone would become a king. Someone would become a king, and others would become the people. Someone else would become a wanderer without any affiliation. Someone would become a king, and others would become the people. Someone else would become a wanderer without any influence. Same word. Same word. Someone would become a king, while others would become a... I hate myself. Someone would become a king, and others would become the people. Someone else would become an... Oh. Well, this line is simple. I don't know why I'm troubling. Someone would become a king, while others would become the people. Someone else would become a wanderer, without any affiliation. Why is that word so hard to me right now? Someone would become a king, while others become... That wasn't even where I normally mess up. Someone would become a king. Okay, I press record. Why is it? Okay. Oh, I'm an idiot. Someone would become a king, and others would become the people. Someone else would become a wanderer without any affiliation. Yeah, I'm gonna say the first part, then the second part. Someone would become king. I couldn't even do that right. Someone would become a king, and others would become the people. Someone else would become a wanderer without any affiliation. Someone else would become... Okay, so someone else... Affiliation. Someone else would become a wand. Someone else would become a wanderer without any affiliate. Why is this? Oh, my brain. Someone else would become a wanderer without any affiliation. And Socho was that I said affiliation weirdly, but you know, I'm moving on. And Socho was the land of the wanderers. I don't know why I put the there. And Socho was the land of wanderers. I turned on my smartphone to look up information on this area. Unfortunately, I was out of battery. I needed to find a place to recharge the battery, or find a spare battery. I opened the roof door and went downstairs. I pounced. I pounced. I pounced. I passed through the president's office, the planning department, and the finance department. I walked through the office of the Q&A team that I had worked for a while when I think it was all of it was all right, but none of it was good. I passed through the president's office, the planning department, and the finance department. I walked through the office of the Q&A team that did Q&A QA team. What is that? What is that? I don't know business. I passed through the office of the president. Oh my god! How I got 8 minutes of recording. Oh my god! What am I? How long is this chapter? I'm like a bit over halfway done. I passed through the president's office, the planning department, and the finance department. I walked through the office of the QA team that I worked for a while before I stopped. It's fair to say that the memory... It's fair to say that my memory was quite good. I went to the office and opened the drawers one by one. It was because I thought a spare battery might be left behind. I think the spacing of that was weird, but I can fix that in post. I can fix that in post. At that time, someone entered with a flashlight. I reflexively pulled out my sword, but there was a strange noise. Eh? Dokshishi! It is Dokshishi! How should I... Wait. Deputy Yoon? Now what voice to kill him? Or what voice to give him? I don't know, how long do you think he's gonna be around? Dokshishi. It is Dokshishi. I'm gonna Google. What does it look like? Oh, that's... Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I was like... Oh, he appeared up before. Oh, the guy. I think this is the guy that killed the demon. Now I remember. That motherfucker. I was getting him and team leader Yoon? Wait, no, who's the other? Team leader Han. I was getting them confused. Had to uncover my computer for that. I don't remember the voice I gave him though. I think I remember actually changing it in the middle.
Yeah.
Cause like I first thought he was I was oh, this guy is showing up. He's kind of cool, but then he's kind of a bitch. I think I gave him a more whiny voice. Okay, I'm just going for it. Dokshashi? It is Dokshashi! And I saw the man's face. Deputy Yoon? Oh, I see. Oh, wait, no, why don't I say I see? Oh, you're alive. Oh, I see. Weasley, you're alive. You are alive. Is he? Deputy Yoon? Huh, you're alive. You are alive. Oh god, was that too loud? You're alive. You are alive. It was Deputy Yoon from the QA team. It was really terrible. I heard from Deputy Yoon about what happened in Minosoft. To be exact, it was what happened after I got off from work. The first scenario started for all the people of the night. Wait. The first scenario started for all the people of the night. Wait. Is Team Leader Han the one that died? Wait, no, the one that got hurt. Oh god, I can't even remember. You know, I'll just go for it. I don't remember. Work. The first scenario started. The first scenario started for all the people on the night shift. Deputy Youth spoke without holding his nose. Spoke while holding his nose. Oh, like. Oh, I get the next line. Because of the dirty. The first scenario started for all people on the night shift. Deputy Yoon spoke while holding his nose. The corridor of the company was filled with rotting body odor and maggots. Some of the bodies had faces of people I knew, but I didn't see any mourning or sadness on Deputy Yoon's expression. Do you know? That guy over there? Team leader... Did you know? It's hard to get tone. I'm gonna read it before. How's the tone of this? Oh. I kind of thought he'd be like kind of a bitch, like pussy, but it looks like he's an asshole. Okay, yeah, you know, I'm gonna go back to where they first meet. It's some of the body. It is Dokshashi. Okay, from here on. least I see the end of the chapter. It's approaching. Dokshashi? It is Dokshashi! And I saw the man's face. Deputy Yoon? Ah, you're alive! It was Deputy Yoon from the QA team. It was really terrible. I heard from Deputy Yoon about what happened. It was really terrible. It was really terrible. I heard from Deputy Yoon about what happened at Microsoft. To be exact, it was what happened after I got off from work. The first scenario started for all the people on the night shift. Deputy Yoon spoke while holding his nose. The corridor of the company was filled with rotting odor. The corridor of the company was filled with rotting body odor and maggots. Some of the bodies had faces of people I knew, but I didn't see any mourning or sadness on Deputy Yoon's expression. Did you know? That guy over there? Team Manager Han? I killed him. Why, that bastard. I stabbed him in the neck with a ballpoint pen. It really was like a game. Deputy Yoon? Sorry, is it uncomfortable talking about this? It was a natural change, but I felt bitter about seeing... It was a natural change. It was a natural change, but I felt bitter about seeing Deputy Yoon's change appearance. It was a natural change, but I felt bitter. It was a natural change, but I felt bitter seeing Deputy Yoon's change appearance. No, maybe it's direct. No. No. Maybe this is what Director Yoon was like now. Are you here alone? Are you alone here? Huh? Oh, I'm not alone. By the way, where was Dokshashi? I didn't see you in the company. What group are you affiliated with? Where were you somewhere else? Were you... Oh, where? Where are you somewhere? Were, that's were. Are you alone here? I want to retake that from there. Are you alone here? Huh? Oh, I'm not alone. By the way, where was Dokshashi? I didn't see you in the company. What group are you affiliated with? Were you somewhere else? Yes, well, something similar. I was originally on the Gwahumun side of the bridge. Yes, well... Yes, well, something similar. I was... I was... I was originally on the Gwahumun side of the bridge when Deputy didn't listen when I... Yes, well, something similar. I was originally on the Gwahumun side of the bridge when Deputy did... Yes, well... Yes, well, something similar. I was originally on the Gwahumun side of the bridge when Deputy Yoon didn't listen to the end as he interrupted. I see. Dokshashi, your luck is really bad. Huh? There's no need to pass through all the scenarios. Don't you know? If you hide well and use moderate tricks, most scenarios will be broken by other people. There's no need for you to risk your life. It's very comfortable. It's very comfortable. It's very comfortable despite the world being like this. It was true. If you became a wanderer who didn't like to belong to anyone, you get rid of some scenarios that It's very comfortable despite the world being like this. It was true. If you became a wanderer who didn't belong to anyone, you could get rid of some scenarios that could be cleared and have the main scenarios cleared by someone else. There was many people. You could get rid of some scenarios that must be cleared and have the main. Okay, now I see what I mean. I'm up to 10 minutes recording. It's very comfortable despite the world being like this. It was true. If you became a wanderer who didn't belong to anyone, you get rid of some scenarios that must be cleared and have the main scenarios cleared by someone else. There were many people in there were many such people in the Soul Dome. There were many such people in the Soul Dome. The problem was that if you lived in hiding and were caught by surrounding groups, you would die. There was no prey as good as the wanderers moving along. There were many such people in the Soul Dome. There were many such people in Soul Dome. The problem was that if you lived in hiding and were caught by surrounding groups, you would die. There was no prey as good as wandering as... There was no prey... There was no prey as good as wanderers moving alone. You don't have to worry. Wanderers have also... You don't have to worry. Wanderers also have a lot of power. Is there need to be a king to build power? We exited Minosoft. People were crowded around the company, and there were a bunch of wanderers gathered. Some of them were seen kidnapped. Some of them were seen moving kidnapped people. At this time, one armed man asked, Some of them were seen moving kidnapped people. At this time, one armed man asked, Yun Sanghoshi, Sangho, Yu Sanghoshi, Yu Sanghoshi, Yu Sanghoshi, Yu Sanghoshi, Yu Sanghoshi. Yun Sanghoshi, who is this? He's one of my co-workers. We met by chance. A wanderer. No one from our group is accepted, do you know? Deputy Yun nodded lightly, and the man passed us by. I looked at the man and asked, Who is this person? The manager of the coin farm. Coin farm? Toshishi doesn't know. For a moment, a dismal expression appeared on Deputy Yun's face. Oh. I read further ahead and saw the coin farm and got the idea. I thought he'd be a part of it. I guess he's just like, oh, it is what it is. I guess that's his interpretation. For a moment, a dismal expression appeared on Deputy Yun's face. Coin farm? Doshishi doesn't know. For a moment, a dismal expression appeared on Deputy Yun's face. Coin farm. It reminded me of something. But these guys already started it? Look here. There are two people trapped in cages at regular intervals, like it was a zoo or police station. The wanderers around them screamed with excitement. Hey, are you kidding me? Fight harder. Who will give you this coin? Hey, are you kidding? Hey, are you kidding me? Fight harder! Who will give you coins if you look like this? Inside the cage, two people were fighting each other. Blood splashed, eyes were pulled out, and a man with guts hanging out cried like an animal. The constellation who likes the Colosseum is delighted. Looked closely, and there were several such cages. Not all cages contained fighting. There's one cage with a naked woman and several men inside, while another cage contained a lone woman, like the men had already finished with her. Uncomfortable. I mean, what happened? There's one cage with a naked... It's time for liberation. Looked closely, and there were several such cages. Not all cages contain... I looked closely, and there were several such cages. Not all the cages contained fighting. There was one cage with a naked woman and several men inside, while another cage contained a lone woman, like the men had already finished with her. I could hear the pain moans and cries from all corners. I could hear pain moans and cries from all corners. Outside the cages, the wanderers holding their penises were laughing. Hey, how are you? Good? Come out quickly. Wait. Damn. Oh, hand, dick in hand, Jesus. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Good? Come out quickly. I don't know how to say that. Hey, how are you? Good? Come out quickly. Next is my turn, you bastard. The constellation who likes excitement is delighted. Deputy Yoon opened his mouth. In the game industry, consumers were the king. In Microsoft, the president was the king. Dokchashi, who is the king in the new world? Are you depending on this? Are you depending on this? Are you depending on the sponsorship of the constellations? Yes. Sometimes there are Are you depending on the spot? Are you depending on the sponsorship of the constellations? Yes. There are... It's almost 6 o'clock. I've been recording for like 2, I guess like 20-minute break, but like... maybe I shouldn't stream and record. I feel like I do it faster when I'm not talking to myself, I guess. Makes sense. I don't know, the reason I started wanting to stream was just to make myself record. Like, it's not like when I got back, like I didn't upload for didn't record much for like a month, and I'm like, I need to make myself do it. And I feel like being on stream makes me do it. The constellations? Yes. Sometimes there are crazy constellations like this. The more stimulating oh my god, so many typos. The more stimulating the site, the more times. The more stimulating the site, the more the coins the constellations will give. It's like the star balloons. We get coins from these people, and in return, we provide them with food to survive. Should I do the translated note star balloons, that way of donating at Korean streaming sites? Like, I knew that, but like, should I say bits? I think people would get oh man, that's now it's like, now I gotta be like, not me just changing shit like to make it sound better. I'm just changing it contextually to make more sense. The more stimulating the sight, the more the coins the constellations will give. It's like the star balloon. The more stimulating the sight, the more coins that the constellations will give. It's like bits. We get coins from these people, and in return, we provide them with food to survive. Deputy Yoon threw a chocolate bar into one cage. The woman behind bars cried out and grabbed for it. Oh god, this is depressing. Now I'm like, him throwing a chocolate bar. I first thought he was a bad guy. Then he's like, oh, he's just kind of like just going with the flow. But now is he just kind of like going in the flow with it, like as not like begrudgingly, but kind of like taking some joy in it? Because like it says, like we get coins from people, in return we provide them with food to survive, and like he's acting as it's just. Oh yeah. Okay. Never mind. Deputy Yoon smiled. Okay. Never mind. He's an asshole. I thought he was. I thought he was an asshole because like, oh, you didn't. Oh, you didn't. Like, oh. But this is dismal. What? He said, oh, he doesn't know. But I thought it'd be like, if he was evil, I thought it'd be like, oh, like, she doesn't know, and they'd be like, we'll see. Okay. The more stimulating the sight, the more stimulating the sight, the more coins that the constellations will give. It's like bits. We get coins from these people, and in return, we provide them with food to survive. Debbie Yoon threw a chocolate bar into one cage. The woman behind bars cried out and grabbed for it. There were those in this world who I'd. There were those in this world who'd first identified the system and figured out how to exploit it. The coin farm was the structure that those people first understood the world. The coin farm. Who first understood the world devised. The coin farm was the structure that those who first understood the world devised in order to take advantage of the system. I see people from our company. They were from our company. Early as after us. Cold tone. They were. Oh, it's not happy. It's just cold. Like, they were from our company. It's like they were. Like he doesn't. I guess like he just doesn't care. I don't know. I see people from our company. They were from our company. I realize that's. Oh, it's kind of chilling. I realized for certain after hearing his cold tone, the Deputy Yoon that I knew from Microsoft, he didn't exist in this world anymore. Hey, there are new slaves. Imprison them. Yes. The slaves were moved to the prisons. I was a little. The slaves were moved to the prisons. The slaves were moved to the prisons. I was stunned to see a familiar face among them. Deputy Yoon smiled. Ooh, there's a new toy. Hey, strip her and bring her to the cage. A petite person with white skin, fine black hair that fell to her shoulders, and slightly raised eyebrows. I rubbed my eyes, but there was no doubt. The first apostle, plagiarist Han Soo-young, was here. Okay, you know what? That's good. 13 minutes. Oh man, I guess it also took longer to record because it's a longer chapter. It's not like double. I'm kind of tired. I kind of want to just read the next chapter. I'm not gonna record this chapter. I'm just gonna read to know what goes on. It's interesting. It's a lot. I'm actually personally getting pretty invested into the story right now. Hansung was thrown into a cage. She was unconscious and probably lacking magic power after I took the flag from her. Hansung must have been moved to the area near here. She's a writer. She might have had a management or a publishing company nearby. Aren't you quite good looking? Hey, you haven't touched her already, have you? No. Wait, no? I know the constellations are all gathered here. A constellation lacks obscenity is excited. A few constellations have eyes that are shining in a fuck. I'll Google that tomorrow. I'll Google that when I actually record. Lascivious manner. I believe I've read that word. White underwear was revealed by Han Soo-young's torn jeans. There were men already playing rock paper scissors. I stared at Han Soo-young behind the bars. No matter how I looked, there were no signs that anything happened. The woman would be a hindrance if she were left alive. She's the one who knew most about the world, apart from me. The story completely changed from the third or fourth regression from the first core of the story, and the knowledge she had might be obsolete, but the moment I thought of this, I shut myself in disgust. Why was I worrying about this? Killing someone because they would be dangerous in the future? Who should I say because they would be... Killing someone because they would be... Who should I say because they were used in the future? I wasn't Yu Jong-uk to be thinking of these things. I wasn't Yu Jong-uk to be thinking about these things. Do you want to do it, Dr. Shu? Deputy Yoon laughed as he saw me staring intently. It was an expression that said, I can help you. You promised me one thing. I can let Dr. Shi do it first. How about it? What do you want me to promise? You have a group, right? Please introduce me to Dr. Shi's group. We'll soon start expanding our forces. Looking at Dr. Shi's items, it's a pretty big group. I stared at him. I can introduce you if you like, but I want you to stop this. Dr. Shi, what does that mean? Let that woman go. He twitched because I knew he wasn't a joke. Dr. Shi, what's wrong with treating people like this? If you're surprised at this point, don't you already know? I've been watching Dr. Shi for a long time. I knew there was Dr. Shi could survive anywhere. It was strange ridicule. I knew there was Dr. Shi you could survive anywhere. This strange ridicule in Dr. Shi in Deputy Yoon's expression. Aren't you always reading web novels alone? You always commute to work in a gloomy fashion. Sometimes you would talk to me and a few other colleagues. There were good people like you, Sangashi. What does that have to do with it? What does it do this right now with this? Dr. She's enjoying the situation right now. Isn't that right? Enjoying it? It was like aiming a dagger at my heart from a completely different angle. Debbie Yoon grabbed my shoulders. I'm also like Dr. Shi. On the same QA team. Heard the same nagging every time and lived with their content. Do you remember what the other departments called us? The training dummy team? We're cheap people who don't have any specs. We're just cheap people. We just test games. Dr. Shi, those people trapped now, right? Those people who are trapped right now. Don't you know who they really are? Look carefully. They're the scum who ignored us. Oh god. I guess he's gonna be used as. I guess he's being used as like a parallel to Kim Duk-sha. Like a foil. That's the word. Foil. So he's a foil to Kim Duk-sha. Seeing what he could be like, but yeah, it makes sense. Like he's like, oh, I should kill him. Like, what am I? He's like, what am I? Then Kim Duk-sha like, what am I thinking? This is a fucked up way of thinking. Good writing. Many of the people trapped behind people I never knew from Manasoff. They were the people I didn't know very well. People who didn't know me or didn't care. It's over now. The finance team, the planning team, none of that matters. The best ones in the world right now are our QA team. Really? Shouldn't you know from testing bugs? This world's a game with bugs. There are too many loopholes that I could take advantage of. Numerous messages of constellation were heard in my head. The messages I wanted more stimulating, more decadent story quietly overlapped with Debbie Ewan's face. Sometimes, inferior to turn people into monsters. It's nothing to be afraid of. This world is a game that exists for us. Do you know how many coins my group earns in a day with this? I don't know. It's 5,000 coins a day. 5,000. Can you imagine? We didn't do scenarios and we get 5,000 coins. It's 5,000 coins just to make people fight and mate. It's the same as the planning team taking cash items. Don't you know what this means? I saw men approaching Han Seong one by one. I slowly breathed out. So far, I showed courtesy to the colleague who once shared a rooftop with me by listening to his story. I removed Deputy Yoon's hand from my shoulder and opened my mouth. If you want to make coins, there is a better way. What? Deputy Yoon turned red. Did Joshi also find a bug? What is it? The principle is the same as the coin farm. Stimulate the constellations. Oh, is there something more stimulating than this? Is that possible? Yeah, it is. I'm gonna let you know. It'd be good if you share the know-how. The constellations really like. Blade of Faith is activated. The sound of bars being cut. I swung my blade indiscriminately towards the wanderers surrounding the cage. I cut the Achilles tendons of those running away. The knees of those who were prepared to resist being twisted. Ah, this bastard! My leg! I had a dark thought. If he's saving all these people, but like, I kind of feel later be like, I mean, also saving them works out with King of No Killing. I cut the hands off harassing. If they die from bleeding out, does it count? This is also good. I cut the hand harassing a member of the human department in the arms of a man trying to take off Han Seung's skirt. Blood spattered my cheek. I quietly wiped the blood and continued cutting at the arms and legs. Then Deputy Yoon's voice was heard. What are you doing? What is this? Thank you for the story. I turned to look at Deputy Yoon. I created a situation that Constellations really liked because of you. With just 2 knives, none of the men who entered Han Seung's cage could do anything to me. The Constellation Demon, like Judge of Fire, is pleased with your judgment. The Constellation Prisoner of the Golden Hat Bats, snorting from the relentless punishment. Many of the constellations who dislike the atrocities of some constellations are greatly satisfied with your judgment. 8,000 coins have been sponsored. I mean, he's kind of right. He just did this and got 8,000 coins in a second. It's all about conflict, I guess. Turned white and flopped to the ground. I laughed at him. Why bother creating something like the coin farm? It's easy to earn money. Son of a bitch! There's a large number of wanderers. In an instant, approximately 20 wanderers surrounded me. It was an ambiguous number that might maybe violate the principle of no killing, but I wasn't overly concerned. I just had to get out of here. I retreated a bit while hugging Han Seung's body lightly. Suddenly, her eyes flashed open, and she asked, Why did you save me? Were you awake? Get up. Han Seung's voice was weak. If you save me, won't the constellations in your channel run away? Don't you know what the constellations hate most? There's some who like it. Wait. If you save me, don't you know what the constellations hate most? The constellation has been waiting for a harem carefully puts both hands together. The constellation like enemies turning into allies, and enemies to allies to lovers. Oh, the tropes. Han Seung frowned. Now this is a cliche, right? The moment the woman is about to be raped, the hero will rescue her. Why are you acting like this despite saying you dislike cliches? Oh, she said that. Now this is a cliche, right? The moment that the woman is about to be raped, the hero will rescue her. Why are you acting like this despite saying you dislike cliches? You're mistaken about 2 things. I started while lightly cutting a wanderer's legs. 1, I'm not a hero. And 2, you have saved a life. Your karma points, yeah, I told you, have increased by 1. Current karma points, 14 out of 100. Karma points were gained when a system determined that a person was saved. In other words, if I left it alone, it was likely Han Seung would have died. And 2, you're not a woman. Oh, damn. Like what? Like she's a child? Oh, no, it's just... Put me down. I threw her to the ground without hesitation. Shouted, "You really put me down? You fight as well. What? We'll fight together. Don't you like cliches? Not sure I like cliches. And isn't it really cliche to fight on the same side as an enemy?" She grumbled, but we were well matched. I cut the leg of approaching wanderers while Han Seung followed me and stopped their breathing. Oh yeah, this is the. I mean, like, he does need this. This is actually pretty good. Like, he incapacitates, she kills. It's the general thing that he needs to do. We took their lives slowly and carefully until only a few survivors were left. The terrified wanderers started to flee the coin farm. This is a complete profit. After the coins I got from the wanderers while Han Sung staggered with a smile. He acquired 18,400 coins. Her contribution wasn't as high as me, but she would have gotten a decent amount of coins. I didn't get as much coins as I would have without Han Suyong present, but I decided to think of it as a tip. I looked in front where Deputy Yoon was sitting on the ground. Psychopath. I thought you would be like this. I should have known I'd heard the rumor. Oh, fuck his mom, isn't it? Ugh. Something about his mom. I'm guessing right now, theory time. Because she also talked about the newspaper. Kim Dosh's mom did some shit. I'm guessing killed some people. Poor guy. Sick jerk. You're too talkative. Hunting stabbed Deputy Yoon in the neck. Blood spurted from Deputy Yoon's neck, and the light in his eyes died. Another person who remembered Kim Doksha in reality disappeared. Oh, that actually is kind of haunting. Like, oh, another non-character to him is dead. Hansung saw me watching and grumbled. What's with your expression? Are you sorry that jerk is dead? No. Then why do you keep listening to him? I was a bit surprised, because I didn't expect these words to emerge from Han Soo-young's mouth. You would just listen to this guy's bullshit. Why? Constellations don't like frustrating things. I listened blankly to her words before smiling. What was this? You don't seem to know, but it is better to listen to this bullshit moderately in order to gain more coins when they're killed. There's no refreshing feeling without being frustrated first. No, don't the Constellation prefer to kill right away? What do you do when what do you know when you aren't a writer? I know very well. I'm a reader. I ignored Han Soo-young and rummaged through the items that had dropped. Most of it was garbage, but there was a suit that I could wear. Old gentleman's close combat suit. It was a B-grade item, and only slightly improved defense, but it was better than not wearing it. I couldn't wear some Yonda's mat forever. Come to think of it, I should start item farming. The fleeing wanderers seemed to be heading towards their lair. It would be better to pursue and hit the wanderers. If I remember currently, Socho had a few meteorite stones to use in the fifth scenario. It fell here, then I had to obtain it. Once I got a second battery. You have saved a life. Your karma points increased by 1. Current karma points, 25 out of 100. 1 or 2 people approached. They were all those who had been stuck behind bars. Color returned to the faces of some people who remembered my face. I raised my hand before they could speak. I can't help you now. Take care of your own lives. Faint despair filled their eyes, but it wasn't a situation where I could help it. It seemed cold, but in the end, I had saved their lives. Pick up the items in moderation and then go to Cheongmudo if you can afford it. There might be some people who can help you there. Before I finished speaking, people started picking up the items that had fallen. Their eyes were blazing again as they hoped for survival. Watching them, I understood why the Dokkaebi brought me here. It's mine! Put it down! I saw it first! The people who were victims were now looking at each other while holding weapons. They pointed the weapons at each other without hesitation. This is a kingless world. There's no one to control this world. The Dokkaebi was trying to show me this sight. A world without a king was wild, without the laws and ethics that we've been guarding, showing how poor our belief in other humans was. An unexpected voice stopped those who were about to wield the weapons. Do you want to die? Do all of you want to die? Do all of you want to die? Actually, unexpected voice. Oh. Thinking about it, like comparing like a book to an audiobook is like, if you read that, it's like, do all of you want to die? An unexpected voice. You don't know who it is, but do I need to know to voice it correctly? The frightened people looked at Han Sung at the same time. Wait, was it Han Sung that said that? Oh, it's just unexpected. Okay, so it is. I thought it said like an unknown person, like an unexpected person. So she said it, and she's like, "Oh, I'm just finished the episode up to chapter 6, just reading it." Are you all idiots? Wake up! Think properly if you want to live. You don't know when you'll meet other bad people. Yet you want to cut down the number of people who be colleagues. That in this world, the underdogs had to be united. You want to fight over a few garbage items instead of combining forces? People suddenly came to their senses and reddened. Then he'd be a joke if he didn't know that among the people he scattered, one of them was a web novelist. Don't you have necessary weapons and supplies? Can't you survive? Don't you know that the selfish ones are the first to fall? I keep getting fail and fall confused, Jesus. Do you think he gets stronger just by picking up a few more trash items? The complexion of the survivors darkened. Their bloodthirstiness slowly subsided. If you can't become strong enough that no one can touch you, make trusted allies. Isn't that common sense? It's natural for a plagiarist to say such things. In fact, her words were effective. People started to look awkwardly at one another. If someone opened their mouths at this moment, the people could unite. A few words caused their survival. If someone opened their mouths at this moment, the people could unite. A few words caused their survival rate to rise sharply. I stared at Han Sung and opened my mouth. But for you to say this, I stared and opened my. But for you to say this, do you understand? Everyone should act accordingly. Han Sung said quickly before turning and running away. Her stand was low, so she couldn't run far. Why are you chasing me? You can plagiarize the words of the novel. If you can't become strong enough so no one can touch you, make trusted colleagues. That was the advice that Yu Zhong gave to the survivors in Ways of Survival. Han Sung shouted, How is that plagiarism? These lines are from my novel. Then why are you running away? No reason. Why are you chasing me? She refused to admit that she plagiarized in the end. She refused to admit she plagiarized to the end. I grabbed her collar. I saved you, so you should pay back the value. What value? I laughed at Han Sung's nervous expression. If you have a spare battery, take it out. You must need it for your novel text. Han Sung's expression distorted. I hadn't intended to take Han Sung with me at first. To be honest, Han Sung was a bad person considering what she had done so far. However, her avatar ability was quite useful, and I had a few things to figure out. Most of all, she'd be quite useful to clear the current sub-scenario. I don't have a spare battery. I lost everything in Gwahamun. Give me your novel. No, pay for it if you want to read it. How am I supposed to pay when all the platforms are gone? I took her smartphone from her. The upset Han Sung clung to my shoulders and reached out an arm. What? Give it to me. What? Give it to me. The text version was on her desktop. She was relaxed. SSSSSS grade infinite regressor. Let's see. I nervously clicked on the app file. I wonder if her text version would be invisible to everyone else like mine. However, that wasn't the case. The page in the middle of a book appeared like I had been reading a novel. Yu Zhong quietly opened his status window. He wanted to check the Sage's Eyes that he just received. Character information. Name, Yu Zhong, age 27 years old. Star contract, unknown. Private attribute, regressor, third turn, myth, pro gamer, rare. You know, this hand-to-hand combat, trainings from level 1 to level 1, vegetation level 1, stigma, regression level 3, overall stats, those. Yu Zhong laughed as he... Yu Zhong-hyun? Oh my god, I just read that as Yu Zhong without even thinking about it. It's Yu Junhyun. LeMayo. Yu Zhong. Oh god, it's gonna be weird to say. Yu Zhong-hyun laughed as he confirmed his status window. I finally got Sage's Eyes. I'm lucky this regression. I opened there and looked at the frozen Han Soo-young. Don't you have a conscience? What? Oh, don't you? Oh my god, I keep getting those mixed between who's starting first. Don't you have a conscience? What? Didn't you copy the personal information from Ways of Survival? As writer, shouldn't you change the composition? I was like, it is the exact same. Han Sung hesitated for a moment before muttering, Ways of Survival is a sponsor, and mine is a star contract. Yeah, that one fucking thing. That one change, totally different. It's completely different. There's no comprehensive evaluation in my novel. Comprehensive evaluation. And there is, she changed one thing and took something out. Even so, isn't the name of the protagonist too much? It looks like Jeon-hyun was just a typo. Should you change it more? The author of Ways of Survival would cry if he saw this. Han Sung's face turned red and she screamed, It's just... No, so what? What are you curious about? How many chapters of the original did you read? 99. Hey, can't you give that back to me? She read up to chapter 99? Well, you have to think the person who read Ways of Survival the most after me was a plagiarist. Well, he was the one pleased by the views raised during the plagiarism controversy, so you might say, "Thank you for reading up to chapter 99. You're a true reader." I sighed and asked, "Chapter 99. Then do you know the location of the meteorite in the fifth scenario? Did you know the location of the meteorite in the fifth scenario? Didn't it appear in your novel?" "There's no such thing as a meteorite in my novel." It was surprising. Thought she would have copied that as well. "I have a ceiling sewn." Of course. As expected. Then I'm gonna get the ceiling sewn, so be prepared. You're gonna get the meteorite? Let's unify the terms. Anyway, you know that I saved you. I didn't ask you. The meteorite. I didn't ask you. The meteorite containing the fire dragon was found by Han Soo-young. I almost died because of this woman. That reminded me. I put the carcass of the fire dragon on the exchange. Had it been sold yet? I ignored Han Soo-young for a bit and called out to Bi-hyung. Bi-hyung. There's no answer. The existing scenario completely disappeared in an unexpected way. Perhaps the Dokubi of the Soul Dome was in a meeting right now. The Dokubis of the Soul Dome were in a meeting right now. They might be saying something like, This edition is ruined anyway, so sell a lot of coin products." The next moment, the exchange window and Dokubi bag window opened at the same time. This brat. He didn't have time to send a message. Many Constellation was dissatisfied with the sudden advertisements. Furthermore, he didn't forget to play the advertisements. Open up the sales history of the exchange first. The item, Fire Dragon Scales have been sold for 8,000 coins. The item, Fire Dragon Bones have been sold for 5,000 coins. Unexpectedly, there was someone who bought these expensive items. It doesn't even look expensive if you think about it. He just got 8,000 for killing people. The items that weren't meant to be for sale were also sold. The item, Fire Dragon Bones. Wait, weren't meant to be. Is there a typo? Whatever. Have been sold for 2022 coins. The items that stored on the exchange were sold. Someone would be desperate for the Fire Dragon Bones. If I knew this, I would have set the price to 9,999. To 9,999. The incarnation that possessed such power at present were Anna Croft, Ranveer Khan of India, and China's Fehu. In any case, that person was ignorant. I opened the Dokubi bag and bought some of the items that I needed. Then Han Soo-young spoke to me in a timely manner. "Why do you want me to go with you? You can go alone." It's just like what you said. The most important thing for survival is to obtain reliable colleagues. Han Soo-young looked at me suspiciously. I pulled out an item I just bought. Now where are the... Oh, I thought I said wear this. Now swear here. The item, temporary pledge has been used. Temporary pledge. 1. Kim Dokcha, Gab. Oh, it's a typo. Gap will sign a contract with Han Soo-young, Ul, in the sub-scenario currently in progress until the sub-scenario currently in progress is over. Kim Dokcha, Gap, and Han Soo-young, Ul will not harm each other until the sub-scenario currently in progress is over. During the contract period, Kim Dokcha, Gap, and Han Soo-young, Ul will sleep alternately and prepare for the sleeping penalty. During the contract period, the guidelines for the party will prevail over Kim Dokcha's Gap opinions. During the contract period, Han Soo-young, Ul will cooperate with Kim Dokcha, Gap, to clear the scenarios. She will follow Kim Dokcha's orders as long as her life isn't in danger. During the contract period, Kim Dokcha, Gap will protect Han Soo-young, Ul. The contract will expire at the end of the sub-scenario. The body will be destroyed if the contract is violated. Temporary pledge. It didn't have much effect. It didn't have the effect of a sponsor contract. It was effective for short-term contracts. Han Soo-young looked at me with surprised eyes. "Do you think I'll sign this?" "Then don't." "Why should I sign it? I've never done it before." "Good. The first experience is important." Han Soo-young gritted her teeth. Even so, I knew she would accept. There's no other choice for a person with exhausted magic power. It was suicide to wander alone in Songchoku, and she needed someone to protect her for a bit. "Okay, I accept, but I have one condition." "What is it?" "We will share information with each other." "How about it? I have a lot to ask you. You should answer honestly." "I have lie detection." "Sure I got something that I couldn't obtain?" "The character Han Soo-young has used lie detection level 1. It was real. Han Soo-young got to the point. "What's your attribute?" "I don't know." The character Han Soo-young has confirmed that your words are true." Hansung made a stupid expression and raised a hand to her temple. Is this broken? No, it's normal. Then ask me the next question quickly. I'll answer 3. For your reference, you've already used 1. No, what do you mean you don't know your attribute? I really don't know. Now what's your next question? Hansung's eyes narrowed and she reluctantly continued to ask questions. Why did you give up on the absolute throne? I figured this question would emerge. My plan was ruined because of you. If it wasn't for you, do you know how hard I prepared these apostles only for them to be eliminated? If I was sitting on the throne, I would have prepared for the next scenario by now. If you sat on the throne, Soul would have perished. The character, Han Soo-young, has confirmed your words are true. Han Soo-young frowned. Why does the skill keep breaking? It isn't broken. We would have ruined if anyone, not just you or me, sat on the throne. The character, Han Soo-young, has confirmed your words are true. Han Soo-young's eyes widened. How did you know? Where did you get off? Why do you know this when I don't? I'm not someone who got off. The character, Han Soo-young, has confirmed your words are true. Han Soo-young was extremely shocked and managed to squeeze out a question after a moment. How far did you read in Ways of Survival? Your 3 questions are over. This is the most important question. Han Soo-young's chin trembled. No way, right? There can't be such a crazy guy. Yeah, it's unlikely. Then something that sounded like horse hooves were heard in the distance. I told the muttering Han Soo-young to be silent, and we quickly fled to the rear of a nearby building. Something was approaching. It was in the form of a human. I used character lists on the people rushing towards me in the cloud of dust. The information of this person can't be read in character list. This person isn't registered in character list. Looking closely, I could see all the people running from the had fur sprouting from their whole body. Their faces were human, but their bodies were monster-like and twice as big as a human. They seemed like bipedal wolves. Looking closely, one monster in the lead was holding a man by the neck. It was the biggest of the monsters. Where is he? This area, the coin farm. There was a sound, and the man's head was blown away. He was one of the wanderers who had been in front of me in a soft. The monsters rushed eagerly and started eating the man's body. I think I knew what these monsters were. Han Soo-young realized something and muttered, The outside species? Wanderers had their own ways of survival. There were those who still existed as humans and made coin farms, while others gave up on being humans and walked the path of a new species. The outside species had limits, but because they gave up on their humanity, they could grow faster than others in the beginning and the mid part of the story. Maybe these guys were werewolves. They gained the power of the meteorite. Right now, it was only the 5th scenario. At the current time, the only way people could evolve into werewolves was using the power of the meteorite. The wanderers who had already got their hands on the meteorite had fell into Sonchogu. Han Soo-young opened her mouth. I know him, that bastard. He's someone who stopped reading. How do you know? I can see it. It's the privilege as the last person who got off the novel. Privilege? I could read the information and attributes of those who stopped reading. She spoke in a slightly boasting tone. Speaking of which, I remembered a story that I heard from Jung Min-sob. Shortly after the snares began, the first apostle came to them. This would be explained if Han Soo-young had the ability to find those who stopped reading. Then she used her avatar ability to appear before them. Han Soo-young kept speaking. That's why I doubted your identity. A guy who can't be read by my skill? Han Soo-young stared at me before looking back at the outside species. At that time, there were a few people who refused my offer. That wanderer was one of them. I thought it wasn't a big deal since most of them would die early. Who is that guy? He's Song Minwoo. Song Minwoo. It definitely wasn't the name of a character. Yet I had heard the name somewhere. The 6th grade outside species, werewolf, Song Minwoo, is searching the surroundings. I could see the face of the person in the distance. Perhaps. A recent memory came to mind. It was a dream I had a few hours ago. Oh, damn. Oh my god, this book is so good. This book is so good. It's The Bully. Oh, dude, get fucked. It was a dream I had a few. I remember my days in high school and the gangsters who bullied me. Many years had passed, but his facial expression seemed to fit. No matter how much time had passed, I couldn't forget the name on that name badge. No, but what do you mean? No matter how much time had passed, I couldn't forget. You just said you didn't. You were like, it was. I heard it somewhere. It must be him. But that bastard was someone who got off? That gangster read a novel? Where did he get off? That guy, he was a bit strange. He's a bit different from the usual readers. What is it? Hansung worried for a moment before saying, in my eyes, he got off at chapter 173. At this moment, Song Minwoo sniffed and turned his head this way. His yellow eyes seemed to be saying, I found you. He fell to the ground on all fours and started rushing to the side. Predictions right now. She's confused. Like, oh, she got off chapter 99. How can he get out of chapter 173? I'm guessing he didn't read like anything except that chapter, and it's because of Kim Dok-cha. Like, he was bullying, like, what the fuck is this on your phone? A web novel? Looked at it. Little bitch. Punches him. What is it? I'm mostly just no. This is just turned into a reading chapters aloud live stream. The title doesn't help indicate that. It's just 69 chapters of OVR. Nice. I want more nices in the chat. By the time I realized Song Minwoo was immediately in front of me, it was a tremendous speed. His agility must be at least over level 40 in order to achieve this speed. You? He asked in a tearful voice. This guy already finished his transition to an outside species. The 6th grade outside species, Song Minwoo has triggered a predator's threat level 5. The character, Han Seung, has used mental barrier level 3. The character, Han Seung, has alleviated some of the effects of a predator's threat. In a moment, his hand shot and grabbed Han Seung's throat. Han Seung might not be in a perfect physical condition, but it was too much for her to be suppressed at once. The 6th grade outside species. It was the worst enemy to deal with right now. It was different compared to the 5th grade fire dragon. At that time, my ice attribute overwhelmed the fire attribute, and I could take advantage of the dull movements of the big monster. But now, Song Minwoo stared at me. Did you break my coin farm? The tone was certain despite being a question. Han Seung screamed the moment she saw Song Minwoo's white fangs. Shit, kill him already! Kill him quickly! I used Blade of Faith, while Han Seung used Avatar. At almost the same time, Song Minwoo's powerful kick arrived. The just created avatar's head burst while I went flying through the air. The 6th grade outside species, Song Minwoo has triggered Accelerate level 5. Song Minwoo's His fist followed at a speed that was almost invisible. Head, shoulders, belly. The onslaught poured out toward those areas. Air burst out from me. Han Seung's voice cried out, Kim Dok-cha! No, even if this was an outside species, how could he be so strong? It was too late to avoid the blow. I hurriedly raised my overall stats. 16,000 coins have been invested into stamina. Stamina level 25 to stamina level 50. A giant light physical fitness fills your body. The pain quickly dwindled, and it reached a point where I could tolerate it, but the situation wasn't over. Kim Dok-cha. Where did I hear that name? I heard Song Minwoo mumbling. I could see this face through my defenses, and that was the problem. This guy wasn't strong. The problem was me. The effective predator's threat has reduced your will to fight. A predator's threat has slowed down your movements. It was ridiculous. Out of the came the threat of a 5th grade fire dragon only be affected by this guy? It was impossible. I had the 4th wall. The exclusive skill, 4th wall, is shaking. Theory time. Doesn't work as well because it's a guy he actually knows. Like, there is no 4th wall, like, separating him from, like, the book he read. This is just a bully to him. This situation had occurred. Exclusive skill, 4th wall is shaking. This situation happened once before. It happened when I fought Yu Zhong in the theater dungeon, and when I was immersed in Yu Zhong's first-person view. But now Yu Zhong wasn't here, so why? Song Minwoo roared and raised his claws. Kind of familiar. Do I know you? Hey, Kim Dok-cha, what is this? A familiar voice overlapped with the same voice. Oh, hey, do I know you? Hey, Kim Dok-cha, what is this? Oh, my theory time. Oh, I talked about him like he taking the novel. I grabbed his wrist and answered, I don't know. Really, I think I remember. Stop reading and go get me some bread, yeah? The 6th grade outside species, Song Minwoo has triggered Memory Enhancement Level 3. I know you. The skill, fourth wall is shaking. Damn it. Now I see why the fourth. Now I knew what the fourth wall skill was. There was a smile on Song Minwoo's face. Strange. How does a geek like you survive up to this point? You were just reading a novel every day. You're that person? Aren't you the guy who was beaten up by me while reading a novel in your spare time? Don't you remember? I remembered. Of course I remembered. A late rage filled my head. You're Song Minwoo. You should remember the face of You should remember the face of your old school friend, right? It's good. I was wondering if you were still alive. When I was 17, I used to think that I had strength. If I had strength, I would tear apart this guy in front of me. Song Minwoo kept talking. The novel you're reading at the time. Where can I see it? The moment I heard this, a scene came to my mind. I'd been sitting in my seat, scrolling through the novel when he hit me. Perhaps. So Taku, you're reading this? Is it fun? It's laughable. Of course, a novel that I was reading at that time. Song Minwoo's fist struck my abdomen and my body flew through the air. The moment I slammed out into the outer wall of the building, Han Soo-young's avatar has attacked Song Minwoo. The exterior wall of the destroyed building fell on me. The exclusive skill, fourth wall, is shaking. The fourth wall is an exclusive skill I had from the beginning. I still don't know all the functions of the skill, but I was confident at least one thing. The skill made me recognize this world as a novel. In fact, I often felt strange. I made judgments and did actions that weren't possible in reality. It was like I was calmly watching this world from the outside. It was due to fourth wall. Shit, what are you doing? An angry voice was heard. As I cleared away the piles of stones, the angry Han Soo-young blocked my way. Her dozens of avatars were dealing with Song Minwoo and the werewolves in the corridors of the building. Blood was flowing from Han Soo-young's nose and her blood vessels popped out as she struggled. It was because Han Soo-young was squeezing out every drop of her already low magic power to exert this strength. I believed in you, but what are you doing now? I slowly raised myself while feeling a sharp pain in my bones. This was truly real pain. I had forgotten since the fourth wall acted as a cushion for this pain. Many constellations are confused by this unexpected development. I endured the pain and stood up while shaking off the dust. This is an awakening event. What? Where's all the fun in winning all the time? Sometimes I should go through adversity. Oh, is that why you're so beaten up? I was just thinking for a while. Many constellations are relieved. He says that, but he is making a point oh, in a story, the main character's gotta lose sometimes. How meta. The fourth wall was a skill that made reality like a novel, and it was obvious why the wall was shaking. It was because I currently regarded Song Minwoo as reality. He was the asshole who beat me up and made my teen years a tragedy. Do you know that bastard? She was a writer and a really quick female. That sounds weird. I stared at her and the hesitating Han Soo-young hurriedly added, I'm sorry, I didn't want to hear it, but the words he said to you... I replied honestly to the person who had lie detection. Yeah, I know him. I can roughly guess that bastard. He's obviously a trauma. Where's the obvious trauma? A trauma is serious. Han Soo-young stated as she spat out blood. Then what's the problem? Han Soo-young, you can help me awaken. If you tell me a few words from ways of survival, won't I awaken? God, it's so funny. Do you think I'm Lee Hyung-sung? In the end, I had to solve this problem myself. I would have a hard time going forward if the fourth wall shook every time I met a person who stimulated my traumas. Well, that's sad. So there's more? Above all, I was 28 years old right now. I wasn't a 17-year-old who was flustered by a bully. The constellation who was like revenge has revealed his own modifier. The constellation, one who overcomes the late trials, is cheering for you. Some constellations are in agreement. A bounty scenario has occurred. Bounty scenario, overcoming trauma. Category sub, difficulty C, clear conditions. Some constellations, such as one who overcomes the late trials, has commissioned a bounty scenario for you. Overcome your trauma within the time limit. And get rid of the spectre from the path. I don't know why this is so funny to me. Overcome your trauma within the time limit. Time limit, 1 hour. Compensation, unknown. Failure, the contempt of the one who overcomes the late trials. One who overcomes the late trials was a constellation I had seen in Ways of Survival. As far as I knew, this guy was a constellation of a different world. Well, more of these constellations would start emerging in the fifth scenario. In any case, this was a blessing in disguise. I threw Samyadan's straw mat to Han Suyong. Wipe up your nosebleed and stay back. What? It's enough. I jumped over Han Suyong's avatars toward the group of werewolves. 6,000 coins have been invested into agility. Agility 30 to agility level 40. An amazing wind lies in your body. 15,500 coins have been invested in strength. Strength level 25 to strength level 50. Your muscles are squirming like they are monsters. I should have done this sooner. I've been too wary since being hit by the possibility storm not long ago. The special option of Unbroken Faith was activated. The ether property is converted to divine. Oh, dude, smite these motherfuckers. There's no reason for me to lose this fight. I just had a momentary lapse in judgment from the fourth wall shaking. If I thought about it, I had the means to overpower these guys. In fact, I had many methods. The werewolves collapsed before my blade. Werewolves had the dark attribute, making them vulnerable to the divine attribute. Moreover, I didn't need to worry about the no-killing penalty with them. As I said, they were an outside species, not human. They weren't my kind anymore. Oh my god, this book is so good. This book is so good. Oh. He can kill them. That makes sense. Oh. Oh, chef's kiss. Also, just in general, dude. This is a good. I am continue reading without recording because God, this is just such a good. This is so good. Oh. I do like revenge stories against like bullies and shit. I found Song Minwon's face amongst the werewolves. His eyes grew slowly larger while Han Suyong's voice was heard behind me. Hey, is it okay? I didn't answer. In fact, the situation was almost exactly the same. This is a skill. Fourth wall is shaking. However, it would turn out differently from before earlier. It's okay. My awakening event is over. It's kind of cringe. I ran straight towards Han Songminwoo. A few thoughts passed through my head. If I used the Ganpangui and called the Hunter of Hexagram, this game would end easily. But I wouldn't overcome my trump by fighting like that. You can't use the Ganpangui. I thought you used all the uses of the Ganpangui. This time I had to fight with my own capabilities. The 6th grade outside species, Han Songminwoo, has triggered Accelerate level 5. Songminwoo's body moved at a great speed after acceleration it was triggered. He was already level 40. He already had level 40 agility, and now his speed was increased with the effect of acceleration level 5. I didn't have any footwork skills, so I was forced to use a shortcut. 7,000 coins have been invested into agility. Agility level 40 to agility level 50. An amazing storm lies in your body. If I didn't have the skills, I could use stats. I let dodge with flying claws and raise my blade. His arm flew through the air, and I caught up his other arm. Confused, Song Minwoo lost his balance. I didn't miss this gap and cut off his legs. Song Minwoo roared as his limbs were severed in an instant. Along with the roar, his severed limbs were growing back. This was the privilege of a werewolf's physical regeneration. However, normally the speed was lower. This bastard. Do you receive a protection? Yes, this was better. The constellation, one who overcomes the late trials, is focused on your actions. The goal of the bounty scenario was to overcome trauma. The constellation wouldn't be satisfied with an easy kill. I turned off the blade and used my fists instead. 8,000 coins have been invested into strength. Strength level 850 to strength level 60. Your power has started to attract the attention of the giants. Your total stats have almost reached the limits of this scenario. I grabbed Song Minwoo's neck. The exclusive skill, fourth wall, is shaking. Whenever I looked at this guy's face, I felt that was the 17-year-old Kim Dokcha inside me shrink back. Poor thing. From now on, I'll get revenge for him. For him. Minwoo, I didn't greet you properly earlier. What? It's nice to see you. I hit him in the stomach. By the way, I was in a lot of pain back then. The 17-year-old Kim Dokcha was watching me in my memories. Feel free to watch. If you have a conscience, shouldn't you apologize first? I held him with one hand and continued to punch. The chest, the stomach, the face. What's wrong with reading a novel, eh? Did I harm you? On behalf of the 17-year-old Kim Dokcha, I hit him again and again. Bastard! I even used some money to buy the books. His teeth were broken. His chest muscles damaged, and his bones shattered. The nearby werewolves growled at the assault, but couldn't come closer. I was giving out Predator's threat despite not using the skill. Real fear came from a strength that was on a different dimension. 10 minutes passed before Song Mi-won started begging. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Really? You're sorry? Yes, I'm really sorry. I was young at the time. Of course he was. I knew. That degree of malice was understandable in immature days, but you must be mistaken. I wasn't trying to get an apology. This was something that couldn't be forgiven, understood, or forgiven. In the first place, I'm not the one you should apologize to. What is that? First, I hit you until all my traumas disappeared. I watched the collapse some of me when thought of my teen years. I was helpless, weak, and only knew novels. In fact, Hansung was right. There's no obvious trauma in this world. All trauma was severe for the person involved, so I don't think these actions would completely eliminate my trauma. I would often have nightmares that the 17-year-old Kim Duk-cha repeated the tragedy of that time. Still, this might be a bit comforting, just like when I read Ways of Survival back then. The 28-year-old Kim Duk-cha might be able to help the 17-year-old Kim Duk-cha escape from the nightmare for a short time. Stop! Just like Yu Jong-ik was to me in those days. How long did I hit him? Finally, there was a moment when I looked at Song Mi-won's face and felt nothing. The exclusive skill, fourth wall's shaking has subsided. You have met the conditions to clear the bounty scenario. Ah. That was good. And then the fifth scenario starts. I'm trying to remember if because I remember reading this a long time ago. Because I think I stopped reading it around somewhere at this point. I think I remember. I knew they teamed up. I knew they would partner up for this part. And I think I left around like when Kim Duk-cha finally tells Han Soo-young that he read all the chapters, and she's like, "Oh damn!" Especially didn't figure it out already. Jesus. What should I do now? I don't want to continue reading because I need to go back and record these anyway. But now I have a good grasp on this chapter. It's good. Should I look up? I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna go to casting call. I saved a casting call thing. I applied for voice acting roles. Now I'm looking at stuff that involves singing, because I like singing too. Song, I've got a dream, I've got a dream. Dun, 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 dun. Is this loud? Are not the cleanest, but despite my evil look and my temper and my hook, oh, I've always yearned to be a concert pianist. A stage performing Mozart, tickle to my ivory so they gleam. I'd rather be called deadly for my killer showdown medley. The winds, and I've got a dream. He's got a dream, he's got a dream, he's got a dream. See, I ain't as cruel and vicious as I seem. I do like breaking femurs, and you could give me the dreamers. Yes, I've got a dream. nothing else yet oozes. I'm looking at the stream and I don't think the music video or the YouTube video loads well on the stream. Jesus Christ. My Fortnite in my nose. Where's Finn's part? Not a fighter. I've got a dream. Got a dream. He's got a dream. You've got a dream. And romance will reign supreme. Though my face leave people streaming, there's a child behind it dreaming. Like everybody else, I've got a dream. Joe would like to quit and be a florist. Gunther does interior design. Oomph is to mime until his couplets are sublime. Bruisers knits killer sues. Fang does little puppet shows. Vladimir collects ceramic unicorns. What about you? I'm sorry, me? Oh, here. What's your dream? Oh, sorry, boys. I don't sing. I have a dream like not less touchy-feely. It mainly happened to be somewhere warm and sunny. On an island that I own, tanned and rested and alone. Surrounded by enormous piles of money. I got a dream, I've got a dream, we've got a dream. And with every passing hour, I'm so glad I left my tower. For all you folks, I've got a dream. She's got a dream, she's got a dream, we've got a dream, they got a dream. Our differences ain't really that extreme. Oh, big team. Less brutal, cautious, sadistic, and gratuitously optimistic. Cause every day we got a dream. Got a dream, I got a dream, a dream, I've got a dream. If we got a dream. Yeah! Woohoo! No. I'll do karaoke version. That'll probably be better. Waiting. Oh shit, no. Outside looking in. This is her. Now that time, never even knowing just how blind I've been. I'm gonna get some water first. Blinking in the starlight. Oh, this is the female part. I don't even see you seeing this. It's all so clear. I'm where I'm meant to be. And at last I see the light. It's like the fog has lifted. And at last I see the light. And it's like the sky is new. And it's warm and real and bright. Somehow shifted. All at once, everything looks different now that I see you. I have something to give for you too. I have something for you too. I should hear you do it before, but I was just scared. And the thing is, I'm not scared anymore. You know what I mean? I'm starting to. All those days chasing down a daydream. All those years living in a blur. All that time never truly seeing things the way they were. Now she's here, shining in the starlight. Now she's here, suddenly I know. If she's here, it's crystal clear. I'm where I'm meant to go. And at last I see the light. And it's like the fog has lifted. And at last I see the light. And it's like the sky is new, and warm and free and bright. And the world has somehow shifted. All at once, everything is different. Now that I see you, now that I see you. I see there was a guy stuck around to chat, or stuck around viewing while I was just reading. I guess my singing voice scared them off. Do I sound that bad? I feel like, I don't know if I should be singing more, because like, after all that recording and me just reading, I think my voice might be a bit sore. What do I should do now? I mean, it's not. You know, it's Friday. I kind of. I wonder if I should start. I wonder if I should drink just alcohol. It's a Friday night. Got nothing going on. I downloaded. I'm looking at. I forgot where I put Friday Night Funkin'. Hey, got it. Friday. Friday night, yeah. Night, yeah. Yeah.
Friday night yet.
Yeah. Played a bit before, but I'm gonna try to complete the story mode in normal. I can skip the tutorial. I already beat this on normal, but whatever. Like, it's default. Getting free with a Friday night, yeah.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh god, it's lagging. I wasn't looking at it. I realize me singing along is gonna be harder once it start being like both sides get notes. I think me singing was just fucking power play. 3. Oh, it's not responding. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh shit. I gotta get focused. Oh shit. Shit. Oh, I did that actually. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Shit. Oh, I was paying attention. Lag isn't helping. I'm not even that good at rhythm games. Oh fuck, I wasn't paying attention. I really gotta stop paying attention to the music. Jamming out. I passed. Never played this one. Bye. I don't even know this. I hope the music doesn't sound like terrible on stream. Cause like it tells me I'm dropping frames.
3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Boom, boom, boom. I've never played the song before. Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh fuck! It's like the song I've seen least of online. I've seen the dad one because like people like making stuff on that. Oh, but I guess it's normal. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh shit, shit. Oh my god, I'm like on my last sliver health. Oh my god, I'm going blue balls. Oh my god, I survived.
Three, two, one, go.
I'm gonna barely survive this one. I don't think I'm gonna make it through this. Oh no, my ball's blue. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Oh, I'm already back in the corner. I can't do this. I can't do this now. It's for certain, like legitimately. Oh. I don't. Spooky month. I tried Mom because I like the song the best. I lived. Get through a Friday night, yeah. I don't know why I'm moving on.
3, 2, 1, go.
I feel this song's easier than the first one, the other one. God, I'm really lagging. I swear. Like the notes, like it'll be close and then it'll just warp past. Oh my god. I need to practice. That's some weird formation of letters. I give up. I give up. I give up. I give up. I don't think I can beat this game on stream because I lag too much. Yeah. I don't know. Good as time as any to end stream.